kidding me? You know, I'm not insecure about a lot of things, but that makes me feel inadequate. Howdy folks, got another Bladeslinger vlog for you. I hope you guys all enjoyed the PlayStation retrospect. I had a lot of fun doing that, but it's time to get back to our regularly scheduled programming. And to start things off, got a bit of housekeeping to do because it's finally time to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2. I was lucky enough to get a Nintendo Switch 2 at launch, and for the past month I've been doing the PlayStation retrospect. I have been playing it, and specifically Mario Kart World. So today we're going to talk a little bit about, the Nintendo Switch 2 as a console, as well as Mario Kart World as a game. Alright, so starting things off with the hardware itself, I love the Nintendo Switch 2. Like, it really addresses every single issue I had with the original Nintendo Switch. It's bigger, the screen is higher quality, the fold-out stand is a lot better. The hardware is much better. Like, the way the controls stick in is really satisfying as well. It is just a vastly improved console over the Nintendo Switch. I actually still have my original Switch. I have it loaned out to a friend right now. But, after a couple of weeks of playing the Switch 2 and then going back to the original Switch, the Switch 2, the original Switch honestly felt like a baby toy, so very well done there. The new features also really good. The GameCube Online is great. I know there's only a handful of games on it right now, but they came out swinging with some really good titles for it. Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, Soul Calibur 2, specifically the GameCube version, the one that had Link in it, and F-Zero GX, which, thank you Nintendo for finally releasing that in some capacity. Thank Lifeson. I have been begging for them to do that for a while, and now we finally have it. So, yeah, Nintendo Switch 2, very happy with it. I would say it is worth the $500 asking price, and I just know for a fact that Nintendo is going to continue to support this, as well as they support the original Switch. That's why I was okay with the jacked up price. So, yeah, Nintendo Switch 2 is definitely worth it on that front. But the console is only half the battle. How are the games? And really, when I say that, I mean game, because there's really only one Switch 2 game that matters at this point, and that is Mario Kart World. And I gotta tell you, if there was one thing that had me anticipating the release of the Nintendo Switch 2 more than anything else, it was Mario Kart World. Like, this game just looked like so much fun. I loved what they were doing with the open world gameplay. I thought they were doing a lot of really cool ideas with it. The content looked great, the gameplay looked great. It just looked like a fun time. And I knew me and my friends were going to be playing the hell out of this one. So, yeah, I actually sprung for the Mario Kart World bundle. So I ended up with a digital copy, but the benefit there is that, you pay $30 less for the game, $550 for the bundle. I do recommend that over buying it separately and then paying $80 for the original game, a physical copy of the game. I am probably going to get a physical copy of Mario Kart World as well, but let's actually talk about the damn game. Okay, so what is the plot of Mario Kart World? There isn't really a plot. It's just Mario and his friends racing around an island. If you were playing Mario Kart World for the story, you're probably playing it for the wrong reasons. Though I feel like there is some potential for some fun story bits in here. Maybe for some future DLC, just to make run around the open world a little more fun, like maybe some narrative-based missions. But, that's something that would be fun, but I won't also say that's necessary. If any plot were to be added to this game, it would be strictly content. So let's just move on to the presentation. And I think the presentation just speaks for itself. While I wouldn't call Mario Kart World a huge step up visually from Mario Kart 8, I would say, as far as technology is concerned, it only looks marginally better. But that's not really a bad thing because Mario Kart 8 always looked great. And I'm not talking about, graphical fidelity or anything like that. I am specifically talking about, the art design and everything like that. Mario Kart World just has a really good art style to it. All the levels are wonderfully varied. The segments in between are also a lot of fun. There's so many different biomes in here. I think my favorite level in this game was probably Boo Cinema. The team was just having a lot of fun with this one, and it's really cool to see all these tracks integrated into an open world. And that's really where Mario Kart World shows its hand in regards to its presentation. It's primarily in the scale, unlike previous Mario Kart games where all the tracks in essence just existed in isolation from one another. Here, all the tracks exist within a big open world, and that open world is constantly rendered for a good chunk of the game with very few load times either. You even have certain races I see you driving from one side of the map to the other, and despite how big the map is and how detailed a lot of these levels are, the game very rarely ever stutters. That's not to say that it runs smoothly all the time. I did notice a few instances where me and the entire field would be bunched up together. We would drive out into traffic. I would notice a few frame rate dips there, but that was under very specific circumstances, and the game was very quick to get itself evened out. One thing I am wondering about this game, I can't really confirm this, but I feel like the game is actually running at a higher frame rate compared to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because I remember playing this and then playing a little bit of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch for my friend. I'm teaching her how to play Mario Kart, and, well... I feel like there is a choppier gameplay there, so, yeah, Nintendo has really done well with the presentation here, and it gives a pretty good demonstration of what the Switch 2 can do, graphically speaking. I've read that Mario Kart World was intended to be a Switch 2 title, Nintendo Switch title, an original Switch title, but they opted to, move it to Nintendo Switch 2 because they had optimization issues, and I wouldn't be surprised if those optimization issues were the primary reason Nintendo started gearing up for the launch of the Switch. It got to the point where even they couldn't coax out any more graphical power from the Switch, and when that happens, it's time to replace the console. You don't do it after only a couple of years and only a handful of games. Sony! Oh, I'm sorry, did I cough in an inopportune time? The music. God, the soundtrack in this game is so much fun. Like this opening theme that you're hearing in the video, this song has just been stuck in my head ever since this game came out. And there's so many other great tracks in this game too. A lot of them returning from old Mario games, Donkey Kong, stuff like that. I think I even heard the theme song for Final Destination from Super Smash Bros. In there somewhere. All of them are beautifully arranged. I couldn't say a bad thing about the soundtrack if I tried. But, arguably the most important thing in a Mario Kart game is going to be the gameplay, and the game very much delivers. This is easily the most polished Mario Kart game that there has ever been. I find myself constantly making just the most subtle of adjustments to slip through even the tiniest gaps in other racers and other tracks, traffic. I can hit things so easily with the green shell this time. In previous games, I always felt like the aim would wander a little bit. But yeah, like the controls here are just so good, and it's actually funny that they've added to it as well. New to the series is an expansion of the trick system, so in addition to just pulling off tricks when you hit a jump in order to get a speed boost, you can now wall ride and grind, and as that video I showed at the start of the video is an indication of, you can do some pretty outrageous stuff with that if you know what you're doing. Playing this game online, I was curious as to why guys were already just thoroughly trouncing me on a completely different level compared to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And I realized it's because they had already figured out ways to skip huge sections of the track with the trick system. So, like, they've just really increased the skill ceiling of this game, while also just polishing all the basic skills that you would use to play the game. As always is the case with Mario Kart games, it's easy to play, but it's incredibly difficult to master. I think the big question with Mario Kart World, though, is did this game really need to be open world? Now, I've always said in the past that there's nothing that can ruin a franchise more than going open world when the series is predominantly structured or linear. And I did have some of those concerns when I initially heard what Nintendo was planning with Mario Kart World, but upon seeing what they were planning to do with it, I was actually on board with it. So the game features free roam, so you can freely drive around the world of Mario Kart World to your heart's content, and there are missions to complete, there are collectibles to find, many of which require you to really have a firm understanding of the game's mechanics and everything. There's plenty to do out in the open world, but I wouldn't say that there's enough to do out in the open world. As I said, I feel like some more complex missions in there, maybe some narrative missions would have been cool. I'm thinking something along the lines of what Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed did with its career mode. But yeah, I just didn't spend a whole lot of time in free roam with this game. Really, the only time I spent playing free roam was just doing the stuff you need to unlock mirror mode, or just trying to unlock all the costumes for the characters, which you can get by exploring the world, picking up food boost, and that typically will get you something. They even include a handy-dandy indicator that tells you how many costumes a character has, so you don't spend time trying to get costumes for a character that doesn't have any. So yeah, the open world gameplay is kind of basic, kind of bland. But thankfully, Mario Kart World is not predominantly an open world game. I say this because the game still maintains the tight structure that you expect from a Mario Kart game. You still have Grand Prix mode, and it works just the same as always. You do 4 races, and whoever has the most points at the end of it wins the cup. But how they've incorporated the open world gameplay there is that instead of just going from track to track and completing 3 laps, you'll do that for only the first track, and then for the other 3 tracks, the first couple or so laps of the race will actually see you driving across the open world to the next track, which I thought was really cool. It adds a nice variety to it, though I'm also a little disappointed that you don't have the option to just race through all the tracks with the traditional 3-lap formula. I feel like that's a setting that they could include it there, and also maybe include the ability to randomize the order of the tracks in the cup, so you get different routes through the world. That would have been really cool. And I'm sure some of this stuff I'm saying might get added in future updates. Like, there's no way Nintendo is just going to let this sit for the entire lifespan of the Switch 2, especially after the success that they had with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's DLC. But yeah, I'm perfectly happy with how Grand Prix are handled in this game. And if you do want to race on all the tracks in a traditional format, you can do that in versus mode with friends. So, and that you can even get more mileage out of it by, having each track lead to a different one. So there's a lot of different types of races that you can do in this game. New to the series is the knockout mode, which completely changed the game of Mario Kart racing. Rather than a series of tracks, instead you're racing rally style from one point of the map to the other. Now, basically what that means is that there are no points, so it doesn't matter how long you were in the lead or how well you did in the race. The only thing that matters is who crossed the finish line first. So that enough is stressful as is, because nothing sucks more than just dominating the race than just getting destroyed by items at the end and falling to second place at the very last minute. That happened to me so many times. And, knockout mode is just absolutely insane in online multiplayer as well. But yeah, knockout mode is, a real game changer. And also doesn't help that in order to stay in the race, you actually have to remain in a certain position in order to, keep racing. So in order to participate in the last leg of the race, you have to be in 4th or higher. And what's cool about that is, the rubber banding of the items changes too. So the person who's in 4th now will suddenly get access to stuff like the lightning and blue shell, which is really cool. I love knockout mode so much. It is just loads of fun. It was the feature I was most looking forward to in Mario Kart World. It definitely didn't disappoint. My only criticism with it is for competitions with friends. I think it would have been nice if you had the option to turn the knockout function off. My friends told me that someone in our friend group was playing with us and they got really stressed out about not being able to keep up and keep racing. And I just think for the sake of making it fun for everyone, having the feature to turn off the knockout feature if you really want to, at least for local multiplayer games, would be nice. But I still really love knockout mode. And you also got other stuff like time attack, battle mode, versus, and it's all just a good time. And of course, you can free roam to your heart's content with friends too. And me and my friends have had a lot of fun just playing games out in the open world. We play tag, follow the leader, stuff like that, racing from one point of the world to another on our own. Like, there's plenty of things that you can get out of Switch 2, or not Switch 2, Mario Kart World's open world gameplay if, you have a bit of imagination. And who knows, maybe Nintendo will start incorporating that into actual game modes in the future. So, Mario Kart World is just excellent by all accounts. While I would ultimately say that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is probably the better deal at this point, Mario Kart World still compares very favorably to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And again, I know Nintendo is going to support this game, so in a couple of years, we're probably going to be singing a different tune with it. But that also does bait the question with Mario Kart World. Is it worth the $80 or $90 that the price has been hiked up to because of you-know-who? I would honestly say yes, because not only do you have tons of cups, tons of knockout tours, multiplayer mode, lots of content you can get out of the game with friends. You also have lots of vehicles unlocked, costumes unlocked. And again, I just know Nintendo is going to keep adding to this game. Like, I've already heard talk of them rolling out a update for the game to commemorate the release of Donkey Kong Bonanza. No confirmation on that yet, but if it did happen, it wouldn't surprise me, and I hope I'm not really dating the video by bringing that up. But some DLC is going to come for this game at some point, but even right now, I would say that the game is worth its asking price. Just barely, but I would say that it is. So, yeah, I am very happy with Mario Kart World. I am very happy with Nintendo Switch 2. I am very excited to see what Nintendo has in store for this thing. I've already got Donkey Kong Bonanza, or is it Bonanza? The title is really confusing. Probably would have just been better called Bonanza and forget the banana pun, but that's another story. And there are more games on the way. Don't forget Metroid Prime 4 is primarily going to be coming out for this thing. And I'm sure we're going to be hearing new stuff in the future too, whether it be DLC, expansions for all the Switch Online stuff. It's just a great time to be a Nintendo fan. But I'd also love to hear what you guys think. What do you guys think of Nintendo Switch 2 and Mario Kart World? Did it meet your expectations? Did it exceed them? Did you not bother? Leave it in the comments. I would love to hear about it. Just please be civil, guys. We're just here to talk about games, not a whole lot more. And also, though I usually make it a point not to play games from start to finish here on the blog, here on the YouTube channel, me and Steffi have had a long-term rivalry as far as Mario Kart goes. But yeah, because of that, what we've decided to do is, for our usual challenge of who gets bragging rights with this game, we're actually going to play the entire game for you guys. So be sure to stay tuned to the channel as me and Steffi go head-to-head in Mario Kart World. I hope to see you guys in those videos.